Hello, everyone. Welcome to YakShaver Spring Review for Spring 96. This week, we have get lots of done. Let's jump into the details. So the spring goal for the spring was to complete YouTube OAuth 2 configuration. And very fortunately, we have get it done. And we will jump into the details later.
Just a small thing on that. Get rid of the bullet point on the done. When you have an emoji, you don't need the bullet point.
Okay, cool.
Good work on that. Who did the majority of that work?
I did.
Nice.
Oh, no, sorry. The spring goal was Baba did.
Baba.
Yeah. I thought you were saying about the email.
Right.
Yeah, for the timesheet, Baba, me, Tom, and Wheeler were working on full time. Michaela contributed a little bit. And let's get into the details of the PBIs we have done. The first one is the YouTube integration with OAuth 2. Baba, do you want to give some more details about that?
Yes, sure. So now we have integrated our backend to desktop app and to do YouTube authentication, and which means that client secrets are removed from desktop. And now desktop app is ready to test outside of SSW.
Cool.
And all security issues are resolved.
Cool. I have a question.
Yeah.
How, like, if we were to add more than just YouTube, like Bilibili or something, how easy would it be to implement that now that the secret stuff is all gone?
It would be easier because it's in our backend. You just need to add specific endpoints to do authentication for Bilibili or any other video host provider.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good work. Any questions about that? Let's see. Oh, next, we have got the cosign and notarization down for macOS. So the pain was before, when Mac user downloads the YakShaver, macOS always bring up this very harsh warning to the user, says Apple could not verify YakShaver is free of malwares that may harm your Mac. So, and it asks user to move to the bin. And after the cosign and notarization, we have a nice installers like all the commercial apps does, and user can just simply drag it into the application folder. And although we still have this notification from Apple, but it's not as harsh as before. But this one is a standard as long as user not downloading the app from App Store. They always give this warning beforehand. An example would be like Codex. They get this warning as well, as long as you are not downloading it from Apple Store. In addition, Mac users are now getting auto updates like Windows users now because this cosign. And next, we have the system audio that Tom and Baba does. Baba, do you want to give some details about this?
Yes. So before system audio, when we are doing YakShave with desktop app, system audio wasn't picked up. So I worked with Tom to do some experiment and find out the solution. So there was already Electron package that will enable system audio when recording screen. So yeah, it's done now, and we have made a test shave with Steven, Tom together while on Teams call, and system audio was picked up.
And just to be clear, system audio also means if you're on a Teams call with someone else and you YakShave, whatever they say counts as system audio.
Yes, that's correct. Any questions?
Yeah, so it was split up into PBIs because there was a Windows solution that I implemented, and this did not work for Mac. So I handed it over to Baba, who worked on on the Mac
Right.
side of it.
Okay. See, so Baba, see how one has Mac OS on it? The other one should
Yes,
have
yes.
Windows OS or Windows PC. Yeah. If
Yeah,
you
I
can
will
update.
update it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Expert.
Any questions on these two? Because they are highly related, so I should combine them together. So next one is an experiment we did. It's about the leaderboard. We had a small task for leaderboard to break the total shape into the teams and the desktops. So initially we assigned this PBI to Copilot straight away. But we found is it's good to have Copilot to starting this PBI, but in the end, we noticed there's a little bit issue with the result. So I manually changed it and update the PR. And then we have a new leader.
If I understand that, you gave it to AI.
Yeah.
You didn't like the results, then you manually coded it.
Yes, but on top of whatever Copilot has already done.
Oh,
it's
so
a
you
good
did.
starting point.
Oh, so you did use what it did,
Yes.
and you didn't want to reprompt it.
I feel like it's more complicated to really prompt it, and rather than I just manually change it.
Okay. Fair.
It's a good starting point for
Okay.
starting a simple PBI to AI. Yeah, that's all the key PBIs we have done. We have finished a lot of PBIs in last sprint. Next, I will hand over to Baba to discuss the code coverage. Up to you, Baba.
Thank you, Steven. Code coverage remains same at 28.5%. And could you please scroll down?
Yeah. And also the product release.
The screen is a little delaying. Just
Where do you want me to scroll to?
yeah. Could you please show me deployments? Because for me in the screen it's showing code coverage still.
Oh, okay.
Could you please scroll down, Steven?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
in terms of deployments, we had 3 production releases for Teams app and for 11 production releases for desktop app.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Thank you, Baba. Next, I'm going to discuss the application health. So over the last week, we can see a little bit issue we have. We have some drop on the availability. That's because we have some failed requests on 500 something error. I haven't got a chance to investigate it yet. But since it's recovering itself, but I still need to reinvestigate the issue later. And speaking of the monthly usage, we have Costa on the top of the leaderboard. It's very rare. He has been doing 28 shaves in total, and 16 of them are from Teams app, and 12 from the new desktop app. And it's followed by Baba and Callum. Next, we have Vito to discuss.
If the desktop has nothing, do you still want to show it, or see the very bottom one, Sylvia, desktop 0?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it should say 0 or dash?
I
think dash is more obvious than 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's a toggle in the logic. If a client is not using either Teams or not using desktop at all, for example, the total sum of the desktop app is 0. It's not going to show the breakdown. It's only going to show how much time they saved.
I'm not fully understanding what you're saying, but do you agree with the idea desktop showed dash instead of 0?
Yeah, I can change to dash.
Okay. What was your other point about hiding one of them or something?
So if a client
only
uses the desktop app or they only use the Teams app, it won't show the breakdown. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh, so then you don't agree with showing. So if it's 0, you're not going to show the other one.
No, only if none of the user been using desktop. For
Oh,
the
no,
time, they
at
haven't
all.
been enabled desktop app. They only using Teams.
Oh, it's when they're both, when some are using, oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah, because from a UI perspective, let's say one of our clients currently they only would have access to Teams. It would confuse them if they see
Right.
the
Yeah.
breakdown because they would not know what that means.
Any questions about this? Leaderboard, new leaderboard looking. Next, I will hand over to Willow to discuss the product roadmap and also the backlog stats.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. So for the product roadmap, we have two epic because the first one we have reached out to the max number. So for the agent 2.0, we have the progress of 91%, and that was 6% increasement. And for the YakShaver desktop app, we got the 66% that. Yeah, because it's newly added. We have a lot of increment. We can scroll down a little bit to the backlog stats. Yeah, okay. So yeah, for the YakShaver, we have 54 new PPIs in the last 30 days, and 65% of them are labeled with YakShaver. And for our YakShaver desktop, we have 75 new PPIs, and 83% of them are labeled, and 44 are completed. Yeah, that's all for the backlog stats. Any questions on this part?
Let's move on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So in terms of R&D, Baba, could you give some details about the research you did?
Yeah, okay. So we have made some research with Tom regarding system audio and find solution for Windows and macOS. And now YakShaver Desktop can record screen with system audio.
Right.
That's all.
Thank you, Baba. For the AI tools, we don't have any change from last week. And the tenant stats, Callum, can you give us some insights of these tenant stats?
Absolutely. So the total number of tenants and the total number of tenants that completed setup have both incremented by 2, indicating more people are successfully onboarding with YakShaver. The contacts to tenants remain steady at 1, which means we have reached out to one of our customers to see how they're going. The total number of shaves via Teams has decreased by 1. Still, we had 7 shaves, and that's external to SSW. And obviously, we don't have any external MCP shaves yet, although as mentioned earlier, we are now ready for people outside SSW to use the MCP version, so that could change very soon. So hold on to your hats on that one.
Yeah. Next is the Copilot and Claude stats. Can you continue on that, Callum, please?
Absolutely. So here we've got the speaker timeline. As you can see, Stephen was moderately talkative throughout. Callum sort of perked up. I think that was in the retro and then the planning, and he had less to say in the review. That was at the starting portion of the meeting. Baba peppered some insights throughout, and Willow similarly peppered to a slightly lesser extent.
Yeah, that's the stats from Claude, and this is the Copilot stats.
Yeah, and you can see that the Copilot stats essentially mirror the Claude stats, which is a great vote of confidence in our new Tiger developed dashboard. And well done on Willow for getting that working automatically as well.
Is that now a feature of YakShaver or a feature of Tina or a thing by itself?
It is not yet a feature of YakShaver. although it could be. Further deep thought needs to be put into how exactly we best make use of this new idea.
And why would it be any feature of YakShaver? YakShaver is something
the reason
that
why
listens to you and makes a PBI.
it is absolutely. So yeah, the argument in favor of including the dashboard summary in YakShaver is that it's doing the same thing as YakShaver in that it reacts to a recording that has occurred in Teams, and then it does something for you. And by the way, all it does at the moment is create a dashboard, but it could be creating a bunch of PBIs based on all the action points that came up in the meeting that aren't already in the backlog or something like that. The argument against including it in YakShaver is that YakShaver has now moved on to MCP, and YakShaver, each YakShaver is a single video file that should be converted into one task. So it's a little bit more sort of broad ranging than the current YakShaver paradigm. So I'm sort of in two minds. I think it probably does make sense to be its own thing, but we haven't made a final decision on that yet.
Okay. Any more questions?
Right?
Okay. So we have got the action points from Claude.
Absolutely. So I'd be happy to go through that, Stephen. So the main, the completed work item was the YouTube OAuth integration, which marks a major milestone. Pop the champagne team, as we can now allow people outside SSW to test YakShaver, which is very exciting. YakShaver MCP, that is. We also got through a heck of a lot of PBIs, 18 in total. That's awesome. And then the next major milestone that's coming up that took up most of the planning meeting is the project selection feature using a skills-based architecture. So what that is, and I guess we'll get to that in a second when you open up the planning email, but what that is currently in YakShaver Teams, when you record a video, it picks which project your video relates to, and it goes puts a PBI in there. And we need to basically replicate that same mechanism in YakShaver Desktop. And that's the final piece that is going to bring us to feature parity and exceed feature parity with YakShaver Teams. And that's it.
Yeah, next we have the Copilot stats. So
all right, and this is a much less interesting summary, isn't it? So the main item completed was YouTube OAuth. True.
But that's shorter because he has in
It
his
is shorter.
prompt, be brief.
That is a valid point. Very valid point.
Yeah.
All right.
So for the
am I doing the retro as well? I guess so. So what went well?
Yeah.
YouTube OAuth issues finally sorted out. A couple of people seconded that, and the code signed and notarized for YakShaver. So now Mac users can use YakShaver properly without all the security warnings and all that sort of stuff. That's obviously a bit of a turn off for anyone who doesn't trust us. What didn't go so well, so not this coming week, but the week after, is Chinese New Year. And we have a few team members on client work. And what that means is we only have Stephen working on YakShaver. So a very small team coming up. And that's it.
Yep. Thank you, Callum. So this is the
Sorry, one more thing that didn't go well is we are not adding new people to the Canary list, as far as I can tell. And we are not contacting all existing users every week. I think that is definitely two things.
I can say though that the team has been very good at following up on the Canary testing for people who are doing it slowly.
Oh, really?
I was on the list maybe a month ago now, and Tom has reminded me every week and asking me questions to update the PBI as to when I will be doing it.
Oh, that's excellent. So
kudos.
That's not mentioned. It looked like you only attempted to contact one customer.
No, it was internal.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So-
No, all right. So I didn't pick that up. That's
Yeah,
good to hear.
but I think they are following up well internally.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess what we want to do now is once we have a few more people happy and they say it's better, we should be trying to force them onto that instead of Teams. That said, I still love Teams. I still love how that works, and the Teams app is really nice for me.
I Canary tested it today, the Teams app, and I think the Electron app, and I think I like the Electron app better than.
Really?
It's just more smooth.
That's a good CTF.
That's great.
Question.
It also looks weird to me, the whole Electron app, just unusual design. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, before we wrap up, anyone have anything to add?
Well, I will tell you one thing before sending these emails. If you can click that link at the bottom there, just the very bottom there. One more. At the very bottom.
Oh,
Means
oh,
the
this
very
one.
last link.
Okay.
I hope that definition of done is right. But if you have a look at this, you'll see that there's been some changes recently by Michael Q. If you can scroll down that and just check it's in the same order and stuff
Okay.
for both emails before pressing done, that will be great. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, I'll update the template then after this recording.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's all for the sprint review, and now let's jump into the planning. So for the planning, we are aiming to have the project selection and the people integration from the portal work. As Karen has already mentioned previously, this is going to be the main action point for the next sprint. And of course, the most important PBI for the next sprint will be aligned with the goal. Any questions about this?
The next week is not the week where you're working alone, right?
No, next week. but
That's the week
week
after next year.
Yeah.
And just a little more context on how that PBI works. So I briefly mentioned before we're sort of copying the way skills work. For example, when you add skills to Claude Code or whatever. So the way skills work is each skill has a brief description that tells you when you want to use this skill. So when the LLM is trying to do something, it'll check its list of skill brief descriptions. Based on that, it'll decide, okay, I now want to use that skill, and then it'll pull in the full instructions of how to use that skill and then put it to work in achieving its goal. So basically, you can think of projects in the YakShaver portal. Each project is going to be a skill. It'll have a brief description of when you want to shave to this project. Once we have a transcript from a shave, we'll consult our list of skills, pick the skill or project that is relevant, get the full custom prompt for that project. That custom prompt will include instructions like, use GitHub MCP or use Azure DevOps MCP or whatever it may be. And then YakShaver will follow those instructions for that project. And this will also, by the way, unlock the ability to CC relevant stakeholders again and whatever other relevant project metadata we can pull from the portal that we had put on ice up until now because we weren't connected. So yes, that's very exciting. And once we get that in there, I think YakShaver Desktop is basically ready to be sold to people.
Is there anyone that's been using the MCP version that likes to go back to the old Teams version? You, right. It's not just me, but I haven't used the MCP version. Okay. How many times have you used the MCP version, Mike?
Somewhere in the single digits, I think.
Okay, try it a few more times, see if you still feel that way.
And Adam, is your feeling valid if you haven't even tried the MCP version?
No, that's a very good point. It's invalid. Just a fear of changing.
Right.
No, I love the feedback I get in the team. I don't know, maybe it'll be good enough in the Electron version.
Okay, let's move on. So just a heads up, because next week, the China team gonna be on a long holiday, so we are going to have very short sprint for this week. We are going to have another sprint review on Friday, so people don't forget what they have done during this sprint, and then in the next week, they will be on holiday, and then I'll be on my own. And yeah, so this is next we have the main actions for the next sprint. Callum, do you want to summarize this?
Absolutely. So YakShaver ready for external users. That was what happened this sprint. Move leaderboard data range to portal. That's an upgrade to the portal to change the, I think it means date range. The project selection feature, we've been over that, but we're obviously adding that with the skills-based architecture. We wanted to potentially support more LLM models because one of the points of frustration I've got at the moment is we're stuck using GPT-5 Mini in YakShaver Desktop, and I want to, for example, use Opus 4.6 or Codex 5.3 or something more powerful. So I think we can look at adding more powerful models in there, which might also, make people like YakShaver Desktop more. But that's obviously a lower priority than getting the project selection in there, because project selection is hard and adding more LLM models is easy but more experimental. And yeah, we've got a 16-point PBI for the project selection, which the team are going to split into at least 2 smaller PBIs, one for upgrading the portal with the APIs and one for upgrading the desktop app to connect up to those APIs.
Yep. Yeah, so that's the planning. Next, we are going to show a very toasty status summarized by AI.
A toasty.
A toasty. Thank you, Adam.
Did you say a toasty? What is a toasty?
Nice and warm.
Toast.
Oh.
And delicious.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so yeah. Callum, do you want to read this out?
Absolutely. And the keen-eyed amongst the members of the team will note that a lot of this stuff is repeating the screenshots that we've already gone over. So I'm not sure if that makes sense, but anyway, we've got some action items there. Obviously breaking down the project selection. There's a Pam had a canary test issue, so the team is actively following up on canary testing. Willow has to create a public done video for Tiger, which is very exciting, and will feature one of these dashboards that we are currently reviewing right now. I think everything else we mentioned. Scroll down. A few hard truths, and this is where the toasty factor, I guess, comes into play. So the silent system audio recording failures on Mac seems to be permission related. I think, Baba, there was a couple of issues, right, when we attempted to actually test it. Are those issues, does that need further investigation?
Yes, I will create PBI with Steven after the sprint review.
Yeah, so for context, we tried doing a YakShave where half the people talking were coming through system audio to test that it worked during the meeting, and it didn't work. So I guess that's what that hard truth is. We've obviously got a bus factor with Steven, who's working solo, and yeah, everything else we mentioned. Scroll back up. What other tabs have we got in this beautiful Tiger report? timeline, again, we've already gone through that. I'm not sure if it makes sense to go through these separately and then also look at the dashboard. Maybe we should just look at the dashboard. Anyway,
Yeah, I agree.
how about people and roles? What's in there?
Wow,
All right, here
what
we
a
go.
great feature. Who thought of that idea to put pictures there?
You.
Oh, that's right. Gee.
It does make it look awesome, doesn't it? Yeah, that is a good feature. Still quite a bit of red on the page. We're a high-performing team with clear roles and strong collaboration. Stephen provides excellent facilitation, although he keeps scrolling around slightly, which makes it hard to read. Balancing Scrum Master and technical contributor. Callum drives product vision and innovative ideas. Bubba delivers solid technical execution with security focus. Willow shows growing ownership but could speak up more. Team celebrates wins together and tackles challenges constructively. This sounds very positive. Do we tweak the prompt so that the YakShaver team always gets the best, the best prompts, the best dashboard? Anyway, Stephen.
Yes, it's very, very harsh. We just had a Eagle Eye sprint review. It was very hard on everyone.
Usually very harsh. So I guess we're doing something right, or Willow has told it to always glaze the YakShaver team. All right, Stephen, 9 out of 10. Very good. The feedback, consider delegating routine PBI reviews to free strategic time. So maybe you're spending too long on routine reviews. With limited capacity next sprint, prioritize ruthlessly. That's more of a tip than feedback, I think. But excellent stakeholder management across multiple fronts. For example, getting Adam to approve that app Mac thing was obviously quite a trouble, but we got there in the end. For Callum, the feedback document Claude Code MCP experiment for team replication. Yeah, so I had this idea of incorporating Claude Code into YakShaver, so it would offload the orchestration into Claude Code, so that those of us who are paying for a Claude Code subscription can even use it for YakShaving as well. And if that experiment goes well, I will document it for everyone. Scroll down. Bubba, add more context about why issues occurred for team learning purposes. I'm not sure what that's referring to. I thought you did a good job of adding context. Anyway, excellent job on system audio and great job catching Mac permission issue during meeting as well. Very good. Willow, great work on permission pre-test approach. Speak up more though. Your suggestions were valuable. Be more active with canary testing and continue developing the Tiger project ownership. And Stephen, if you'd be so kind as to click on the view on GitHub link right down the bottom. If anyone is interested in how this dashboard came about, we have this SSW Tiger product in GitHub, which basically listens for when meetings are done, creates a dashboard, and then publishes them publicly. So that's just for your information. And that's it.
Let's do that. Is there any more we want to discuss on this dashboard?
No, I think it's basically just repeating all the stuff
Yeah.
we've already gone over. So.
Okay, cool. So thanks everyone. Before we wrap up, anyone wants to anything? Oh, good. Cool. Thanks for listening. The video will be uploaded to YouTube. See you next time.
Thanks, David.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.